to episode 6.
It was such good timing.
Of whatever the fuck this is. My chair does not go lower, and that's sad.
So this is our comfy chair.
This is a very comfortable chair that we got off of Wayfair. We probably shouldn't say that.
Amazon, actually. This
Scrap
came from
that.
Amazon.
Scrap that. We didn't pay the people that abducted the children.
We didn't pay anything.
No, we did not.
It was a gift.
It was
from
an
my
Amazon.
lovely sister,
Yeah, it was from
Lacey
Amazon.
and Lindsay.
What's the name of this type of chair? I swear to God, I don't know furniture.
It's called a Papa-san chair.
My furniture is like English 1 level.
Papa, like father.
Papa?
San, like
Potato?
S-A-N, like san.
Papa-san?
Papa-san chair.
Papa-san chair.
I don't know why it's called that.
Is that like the SKU of the product?
No.
Or is that just like the type of
No, that's
product?
just like the design type, and I don't know. That's just the way it is.
Okay, cool. Anyways, it's a very comfortable chair. And if you're thinking, hey, is it that comfortable? Yes, it is. Let me tell you why. One, it's perfect for gaming. So if you're a gamer, you know that there's two kinds of positions that you can be in. The one is like where you relax, playing backwards. Usually that's when you're like playing story mode or whatever bullshit. And then there's the one where you're like crouched over, like with your hands on your knees and you're like leaning forward. Well, this chair allows you to do both. Like it has enough leverage where you can sit on the edge and it's still comfortable, and you can like play in intensive mode, like when you're in FIFA, you know, and you're like 2-1 down and it's like minute 70. But you can also play fucking Skyrim and lean back in your chair and play whatever you want. So I feel like it's a very ergonomic chair, you know. That's a word I pull out of my ass. Yeah.
It's okay. I think it always needs like a pillow in the back.
You're so deadpan. It's okay. the chair, it's okay. It, like, honestly, I feel like the pillow sometimes is too much. I feel like the pillow is too much sometimes.
You hate all pillows.
I don't. I actually used to use two to sleep. I couldn't sleep without two
But you
pillows.
hate all the pillows that are always on the couch.
That's because our couch is not big enough anyways. Do you know what's big enough though? This bottle of Lef. I couldn't wait anymore. We're 2 minutes and a half in and I gotta introduce a new beer. So, if this is the first time you're listening, listen, thank you. Just, if you're doing me a favor, just like this video if you're on YouTube. Like, I'm trying real hard to get like content out every week. Just, if you're following my stuff, it'll be nice to know. Drop a like, drop a comment, and if you're not subscribed yet, you can subscribe so you can get this kind of content every week. You know, only if you want to. But for those that are just here for the first time, I like to try new beers in every episode.
He's lying. This isn't a new beer.
I mean, I've tried this beer before, but I want to try something new, you know, like diversify, keep it different. And I've had this brand before, but I have never had this kind of beer. Like this is the ale, like it's the blonde ale. I only had like the very dark ale, so I didn't have this iteration of it before. So we're gonna have it now. Well, I mean, we already had this one too in the house before, because yeah, I couldn't fucking wait for the podcast. But
And I have my trusted
oh my god, I didn't bring
brand. It's it won't focus.
I didn't bring a glass
yeah,
for my beer.
Okay, cool. Yep.
That's cool. What is it?
So it's called Frey, and it's an organic rosé in California.
Let's talk about why you chose this wine.
So it only contains natural sulfites, and it has no like extra added sulfites like most wines do. And it actually is one of the only like alcohol type drinks that I can drink without getting a migraine or without getting a hangover, just because it's just literally rosé with no added sulfites.
Do you feel like the no sulfites thing has had an actual impact on the wine taste wise and like experience wise? Because for me it was like I didn't feel like I had headaches anymore, you know, like I never felt.
Yeah.
If anything, it was a nice like sleeping aid, you know, like a nice glass of red wine, and then it wouldn't give me a headache, but it would make me sleepy.
So since we moved here in Chicago, like we've kind of dropped off on the alcohol liquor
so
type
much,
thing.
not kind of like
well,
so
it's
much.
just we can't really have a party scene anymore. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to make friends. We've already talked
Right.
about that in the past. But so we just kind of focus on alcohol that we enjoy, because we've talked about in the past about how like sometimes we don't like alcohol anymore because it's just it hurts your, like, it makes you feel so bad in the morning, or just in general it just makes you feel so terrible in all these other ways that it's not worth the pain, basically. And so
there's definitely other things.
Well, but ever since we made that, like, kind of epiphany in our heads, we've been striving to find, like, liquor, and not liquor, but, like, alcohol that we can drink and enjoy and get a good buzz from without hurting. And we found that, like, wine with no sulfites, or, like, no added sulfites, or, like, basically, like, organic, natural wine that isn't, like, commercially processed, basically. If you have a Whole Foods, I feel like a stupid white bitch right now, but, like, if you have a Whole Foods, they have, like, a sulfite free wine section.
That's pretty much the Whole Foods audience.
It's only like a one little, like, 3-foot section. But, like, honestly, it's really worth it. Like, honestly, I'd expect a bit more from Whole Foods, you know. I expect them to have, like, a whole fucking like, what's the name of it again? I'm losing English. A whole, like, section of it. But they have a small section, but a whole, like, aisle.
A whole aisle. There we go. That's the word. A whole aisle. Like, it should be a whole aisle, because you're, like, you know, you're Whole Foods, you know.
Well, so there's, like, 4 or 5.
Whole wine.
I think there's 5 or 6 aisles of wine in our Whole Foods, and our Whole Foods is actually smaller than most Whole Foods.
They still have, like, great
but
selections.
But there's still 5 or 6 aisles, and there's only one section of, like, sulfite-free wine. And when I say aisles, they're not, like, the huge aisles that are, like, regular grocery store aisles.
But still.
They're, like, half little aisles that are in the deli, you know? But ever since we started, like, striving to kind of find something that we can enjoy without hurting in the morning, without, like, kind of damaging our insides so poorly, like, it's been such a great thing. Like, I found this Frey organic rosé, and, like, normally I'm not a huge rosé person. Like, it's normally not my huge thing, but, like, this has been, like, my go-to every time. Like, I don't really want to drink anything else. If you tell me that we're partying, I'll go buy a bottle of this wine and bring it somewhere and, like, drink that the whole night, because, like, it makes, like, it doesn't hurt me in the morning, it doesn't hurt me at night, it doesn't, like, it's just easy going down, easy everywhere else. Like, I can wake up in the morning and go for a run if I really want to, which I don't want to. But, like, I'm saying, like, I could, because it doesn't give me a migraine, which I'm prone to. And in college, we would drink, obviously, like, 4 nights a week, having Fridays off. We'd drink Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday, depending on whose classes were earlier on Monday. Like, it was crazy in college. We would drink all the time, and I would always have migraines, and I'd have to lose out on a bunch of nights because
I think, like, we found out that a lot of migraines were because of alcohol.
Well, yeah, because my body couldn't handle the whole dehydration crazy college life.
But I still think it was good. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like at this age, this is what happens. At this age, I believe that a lot of us have, like, so much energy and we don't know where to put it. And so you can end up doing 3 things. You can put it on your passions, and you can put a certain amount of energy towards your passions, but you know, you got to diversify it, because, you know, you got to stay interested. And so you can either invest it in, like, doing bad shit, like going out beating people, or you can invest it in, like, taking it out partying. Like, you go out, you sweat, you dance, you have a good time, your adrenaline shoots up, you release energy, right? That's why people do it. So because of that, like, I believe, like, it was fun to do it, and I think we had to go through that phase. But I don't regret it. Now I'm like, wow, like, sometimes it feels like whenever, I don't know about people, you know, maybe other people that graduated feel the same. I know that other people, like, still old people, like, I feel like they still love getting drunk and, like, getting hangovers, and I'm like, wow, I don't know, I just don't assimilate to that. And I never believed I would have said that, you know, like, I never said I liked hangovers, but I never would have said, I totally don't want to get a hangover. Like, they're really, like, not happening often anymore, you know? Like, I make sure to drink a glass of water or and a half for every single drink that I get.
Yeah.
Like, it's obsessive now. Like, I cannot not have a glass of water
It's
with
just
everything, you know?
uncomfortable.
Like,
Like,
always.
honestly, alcohol is not worth it anymore.
Mm-mm.
But when this is the
Nah, I
only
learned
thing
it
that I
damages a
found
lot.
that actually doesn't hurt me. It just like it doesn't help me. Obviously, I know that it's obviously not beneficial, but like it's less harmful than any other alcohol out there that I've found.
Yeah, it's just about, I think everything it's a quantity, you know? Like, everything in a correct quantity is a medicine, and in the wrong quantity is a poison, you know?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So I believe that if you use it, not like, you know, this is the old saying that doctors say that a glass of red wine is good for the heart and for like sleeping. For sleeping, I can definitely tell you it works. I don't know about the heart. Maybe it does, maybe not. My father says it. I believe my father. So
Yeah. Okay.
if my father, yeah, no, it's true. No, that was a fail.
I'm sorry it was off camera, but
It was
we had a little
it was a sign, you know. My father
suction
that's right.
cork on my wine bottle, and
Yeah.
it flew off when I tried to take it off.
Yeah, no, but I don't know. There's a lot of. Wait, what? It. All right, you're explaining the story. I thought you were talking to me, and I thought I just like ignored you. I was like, wait, no, I did not. I'm sorry. All right. Anyways, what I was trying
Welcome to our lives.
Yeah, what I was trying to get
You
to.
can cut that out.
Bro, nothing's getting cut out.
Sorry.
Nothing's ever getting cut out.
What you were trying to.
I don't know what I was trying to. Anyways, well, I can tell you about wine, honestly, because I was looking at the bottle. And I can tell you that I grew up. Can my parents be arrested for this? No. I think everyone's parents gives like alcohol to their kids. Anyways, they're not even in this country. So
Oh, no, you can't be arrested.
nobody even knows my parents are. They're in an undisclosed location, guarded in the mountains.
Especially in the European countries, no.
No, it's not. I'm just messing around. Anyways, so my parents basically used to have like a certain part of a vineyard, like a few hectares of a vineyard, and because of that, I used to sometimes go there and experience the whole thing. Not for a lot, like I only like experienced the whole like process of it once or twice, but I grew up around the area. I knew, like, you know, they had like animals and like natural milk, fruits, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I can just tell you, like, growing up, wine for me was incredible because I used to get a little bit of white wine with mixed with water since I was like 4 or 5, with almost like a lot of dinners, way more dinners.
Yeah.
And it was honest, and I grew up with the taste of it, you know. And the funny thing is, I grew up with the taste of white wine, and I fucking love red wine. Like, I white wine is good, but I love red wine. But anyways, I have learned to love wine. Like, I really, really enjoy wine. Yeah. And I've kind of reconnected with that once I started, like, dating you, because I started, like, that sounds bad, you know, I started getting more wine. No, like, I just started, like, being more open, you know. And it's not only because of you, but I feel like you happen to be in a part of my life where I started to transition to somebody that was more open to experiences. Yeah. And you also helped me become more open. I was like, hey, I want to try everything. And so I was like, I want to try more wines. And I was like, yeah, I like wine, you know, and not so much, not because of alcohol, whatever, just because it tastes nice and it reconnects me to like what I used to have when I was a kid, you know.
Well, yeah, and there's a difference in every vineyard as well.
Yeah, and,
so,
and
like,
culture and stories.
Exactly.
Right. And that's why I'm trying everything. And beer too, like, especially this brand, like, this one was like more rare, but I used to have it a lot with my father. My father used to buy this brand a lot. There's another beer, and I'm probably gonna have it. It's called Duvel. And my father listens, he knows this, that you should try it if you can find it. Duvel is a Belgian beer. It's like really strong. It comes like it's a short bottle, like a really fat bottle, weird looking turtleneck. But it's a good beer, and it reminds me of my father, so cheers to that. All right. I wanted to introduce the content part in this show. Oh my god. Called I don't know what the fuck to call it. I'm just gonna show you some content that there's a lot of interesting things that we find around the internet daily. And I just happen to have a girlfriend that sends bomb memes. And I'm just trying to like get them to you. This is not that, is it? It is?
It's what?
Is it that one? No, it's not.
I think
Where's my saved? Ah, there we go, saved. It is that one. That's not so funny anymore now.
it is though.
Just got beat up. Okay, alright, this is stupid. I'm gonna put it on the screen, like it's gonna appear on the screen. And it says, just got beat up. And then, so I looked at it and I was like, I looked at the profile picture. The profile picture looks like he's okay. Like he's smooth. And then here he just looks like, I don't know, he's just like, I don't know, more like quickly drawn, you know? But it didn't come to mind until she said that he's what?
He's rough around the edges.
Yeah, he's a little rough around the edges. That's fucking hilarious. And if you don't find that hilarious, you're...
That.
No, I'm going to like make sure that whatever posts that we have on our phone are going to be able to be seen there too, you know? So, yeah, definitely. Like, I don't know. Okay, so this is something that we also definitely... There's two things that I know for sure we have to talk about. The number one is your experience at the DMV.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Tell us about your experience at the DMV. Tell us how it was about... I'm all ears. I promise I'm not going to interrupt you. I want to hear all about it. I'm only going to make questions at the end. Go.
Alright, so a little backstory. We live in relative downtown Chicago, north side Chicago.
I was scared for a second. I was like, how specific are you going to get with the location?
The specific apartment building that we live in does not provide on-site parking. So they just provide street parking, which is not provided, honestly. It's kind of just like, hey, you can park on the street. So most of the street signs will tell you that you can park there if you have a residential parking pass. I attempted multiple and numerous times to get a residential parking pass for my car so that I can just leave it on the street and they won't, like, ticket me for anything. Like, street sweeping, obviously, I have to move my car when they tell me to. But, like, otherwise, if I have a residential parking pass, they'll relatively leave me alone.
Yeah.
So
what do you need to do to get that residential pass?
Multiple times I've tried to get the residential parking pass, but I have to be an Illinois resident in order to do that. So my ID is from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's where I'm from. That's where I got my driver's license. That's just kind of where everything comes from. And I have tried multiple times here in Chicago to go to multiple DMV locations to try and get an Illinois license so that I can get a parking permit so that I don't get $75 tickets on the street when I don't have when I don't have a residential parking pass.
Right.
Because is it twice or 3 times now?
You went twice.
Well, no, the parking tickets.
2.
2?
2 parking tickets. Yeah.
Okay. So, we've been here since June. And so the first parking ticket that I got was over residential. It basically just said I was in violation because I didn't have a residential parking pass, parking sticker or anything. And it was like $75, $80, something like that. So that day that I got it, I was super pissed because I didn't know that was like a general rule.
Right.
So I went immediately to the first like DMV that I could find on the maps. And it took me to this DMV expressway, right? Mm-hmm. I was already super stressed that day. And I didn't want to deal with anything. And I knew that the DMV was going to suck. But I pulled up to the DMV location. And I swear to God, so it was like basically in like a strip mall. And the DMV Express was like in this little, in between like a Marshall's and like a Baskin Robbins or some shit. I don't know. And I kid you not, the
That's
line...
such a random location for the DMV.
Exactly. And it was basically all the way down and around the whole Marshall's building, like the line to get into the DMV. And I was already so pissed off and frustrated that I pulled up to that place and I walked up, saw the line, and I literally looked at it and I turned around and went back to my car. I was like, I'm not dealing with this today. Like, I couldn't, because I was already so stressed out that I had gotten a parking ticket after being unemployed and not having any money. So I couldn't deal with it. No, you can't cut me off.
Okay, just remember,
Fine,
just remind
go.
me, just remind
Go.
me.
Tell me.
Ford Minor, remember the name, okay?
No, say it now.
The going to the DMV is like, this is 10% luck. 20% skill.
We go on vacation. We go visit my family in at a vacation house. And when we come back, I figured, I was like, oh, it's fine. They haven't seen my car in a while. Like, I don't need to get the pass. Because the residential parking ticket only came up, like, maybe once in the 3 months that we've been here. So I figured, like, they don't check for residential parking passes that often. So I can probably make it up until I have time to go to the DMV.
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody knows that the DMV is such a terrible experience, so everybody's going to procrastinate that shit.
Yeah.
So I procrastinated it. Obviously. So a couple weeks ago, maybe like a week ago, I got another residential parking pass, or parking ticket for not having a parking ticket, or God damn it.
Parking permit.
Yes, I got a ticket for not having the permit.
Yeah.
I got a ticket for not having the permit.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay. I got the ticket on like a Wednesday, and I was like, I'm not going to the DMV on a Thursday or a Friday. I'll go next Monday. So I wait in the weekend, and the Monday comes up, and it's fucking raining, and it's fucking nasty, and I'm like, fuck that, no.
This is what happens
when
you
procrastinate. I go Tuesday. And I didn't want it to fuck up with my schedule, so I went at like, I think I left here at like 10:20 in the morning, right? The DMV opens at 8. Any DMV, like all the locations open at 8. So I figured like, it's whatever, like I'll just make it a day of it. So I went to the same location that I went to the first time, and I'm ready. I got all my documents. I got like my 3.5 forms of ID.
Yeah.
I got 2 proofs of address here in Chicago so that I can get the residential parking pass.
Right.
And I show up and I'm like walking up and I see this long line that's like literally twice as long as it was the first time that I got there. And I was like, okay,
God.
It's fine. It's noon or it's 11 a.m. I expected it. It's fine. So I was trying to calm myself down, and I got my headphone in, just one of them, so that I can, like, pay attention and whatever. And I'm just relaxing. I'm like, okay, I'll just stand in line. I got all my documents. Then this lady comes up with, like, a highlighter vest, basically, and she worked for the DMV Express. And she came up, and she's like, what do you need? And I was like, I need a new ID, like an Illinois license, and a residential parking pass.
Right.
And she was like, "Oh, we don't sell the residential parking pass here."
Sell?
She said we don't sell it.
Oh, right, yeah, because you gotta buy the
You have
pass.
to buy it.
Yeah.
But she literally said we do not sell it here.
Okay.
And I said, okay, that's fine.
So you'd suppose the other thing was okay, right?
I even told her, I was like, that's fine. Can I get a new ID? And
Yeah.
she's like, have you ever had an Illinois ID before? And I was like, no. And she was like, oh, we don't do that here. And I was like, what? She's like, we only do renewals and, like, some other bullshit here. She's like, you have to go to, like, she's like, you have to go to these locations. She shows me her clipboard of, like, literally, like, 13 different locations of DMV in the 50-mile radius of Chicago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was in shock that she had told me you can't do this here. Like, I just didn't even process that she had told me that I was there for the wrong reason and I had to go somewhere else. And so I'm staring at her and I was like, okay. And she's like, so you need to go here. And I was like, okay, can I take a picture of that? She's like, no, honey, this is for you. She gave me that piece of paper. And I was like, okay, thank you.
Go figure it.
And I fucking walked off out of the line, which there were already like 7 people behind me in that line because that it was ridiculous. So I was already upset that I had to leave a line that I was waiting for no reason. Got in the car, and honestly, I cried a bit because I was just so fucking frustrated with the whole situation in general that this has been such a process.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even though I've been really shitty about it, it's still been a shitty process trying to get this happening.
Totally, yeah.
Like every time
it shouldn't be like that.
Every time I've gone online to go and get a residential parking pass, because you can get it online.
Yeah.
I go and enter my driver's license number, and because it's from South Carolina, it doesn't have enough numbers.
Yeah.
It does not have enough numbers for me to register in Illinois.
Yeah.
Like, my driver's license number has 9 digits, and Illinois needs 12. I can't just make up numbers.
Just that 1, 2, 3.
They won't accept it.
Try it.
And so...
Totally.
This lady, I was like, okay, I'm already out here. I'm already, like, outside the city doing DMV stuff. I'll just go to the location she told me to.
Right.
I still have all the documents I need. I'll just do what she told me to. So I drive another 20 minutes away.
I forgot about this part. No.
20 minutes away. And I'm like, it's okay. It's fine. Play some loud music on the way, obviously, to just get my anger out.
Fuck yeah.
And I pull up to this fucking DMV, which is like the official DMV of like North Chicago. And I see this big building, and I just see a line of people halfway around the building. I'm like, oh, fuck. I pull into the parking lot, whatever. I literally sit there for like 5 minutes, just like breathing, trying to like prepare myself for the stress that I'm about to go through. And I get out of the car, and I go towards, so my intention was, the back of the building seemed like the most active, but the line was basically started at the back of the building because obviously COVID, they were trying to spread the line out and not keep it indoors.
Yeah.
So my intention was to like walk down the line so that I could see exactly how they were like organizing the line and seeing how many people were actually in front of me.
Yeah.
So I walked up to the front of the line, and some, like, 5 different men were like, how can I help you, ma'am? And I was like, I need a new ID. And they're like, you gotta go down there by the stop sign and make a left and around the building. And I was like, okay. And honestly, he had told some other man next to me, and he asked me, he's like, what do you need? And I was like, same as him, whatever, I'm on my way. And I did the same thing.
Yeah.
When got around in the line, there was, like, a group of people that were, like, talking, and some lady was like, hi, how can I help you, ma'am? But then she, like, ignored me.
Yeah.
So I just got in line, and I was like, okay, I'll just wait until whatever. And she comes up, and she's like, how can I help you? And I was like, well, I need a new ID and a residential parking pass. And she's like, okay, do you have your birth certificate and your ID? And I was like, yes, both. Yes. And I was excited because she had told me, she's like, yes.
All right, that's it. I got it.
I was like, yes. Okay, I'm excited. Everything's good. And I was like, I need a residential parking pass too. And she's like, okay, do you have proofs of address? And I was like, yes. I have a bill from this and a bill from this. And I was like, oh, so happy. And then she's like, okay, so you want the real ID, right? With the star? With the gold star? Because the gold star apparently is so fucking important right now. I don't know what the fuck is so important, which I need to research, honestly. But I don't know what's so important about the gold star on the new IDs now.
Yeah.
But I literally, she asked me, she's like, do you have you want a real ID, right? And I was like, oh yeah, I mean my current...
No, I want a fake one. Bro, yes, I want a real ID.
My current ID has the gold star, so like, yeah. She's like, okay, do you have your social security card? And I was like, what? I have my passport, my birth certificate, my passport ID, my driver's license, my everything.
Oh my god.
And you're asking me for my social security card. And I was like, no, I don't have the card, but I have the number. Can I use the number? And she's like, no, I need something printed with it. She's like, do you have a W-2? And I was like, no, I've been unemployed for a few months now. She's like, do you have a lease with it on it? And I was like, I'll look, and I literally couldn't find the lease.
But this is my question.
No, listen, wait, don't
I still don't understand it. I don't understand it.
So she actually told me, she's like, we can't actually give you a real ID if you can't give us the real social security card. She said, if you get the digital version, if I find a W-2 or some kind of digital copy of it, then they can give me a regular ID, but they can't give me a real ID with the star on it.
If anyone's
I don't know what
watching,
the fuck is so important about the star.
I want to know. If anyone's watching, please tell us. We can probably Google that shit. Actually, matter of fact, you know what?
It's going to take too long.
I'm going to Google it. No, continue talking about the thing at the DMV.
Okay, either way, she told me that I needed my social security card, which I do not have. I'm most likely my parents have, because, I mean, they tell you to keep that thing safe.
Yeah.
And you keep that thing safe. Why do they expect you to bring it somewhere if I'm supposed to keep it safe? Anyway, my parents are not at our normal home anyway, so nobody, like, there is no possible way that I can get to my social security card physically right now.
Okay.
So, what the fuck am I supposed to do right now? She told me that I can't get a real ID without a social security card.
Yeah.
And I told her, okay, I guess I'll come back later. And she said, okay, sorry. And I...
Wow. Yeah, you cannot fly. You cannot fly. Like, one of the things, I don't know but one of the things, like, you cannot fly if you get an ID that's not real.
I don't know what...
You cannot fly with it. You can fly with your passport, but...
I mean, I guess because it's, like, IDs are so easily faked now.
Yeah.
But she told me, she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I literally cried for, like, 5 minutes just because this process is so fucking difficult.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like, it shouldn't be this hard. But... I'm getting $75 tickets because I can't get a fucking ID because you made it so difficult for me to get this process. Like, I literally brought you almost everything that you need.
But
in order to give me another ID, and you told me that I can't get a new ID because I have one less document than I'm supposed to.
So this is what sounds weird to me. First, she asked that if you had your fucking social security card. Which, first of all, if you have the fucking number, then why do you need the card? Second question. Then she said, do you have a W-2? A W-2 doesn't have your social security card. All it has is your social security number.
And a lot of other information that the DMV does not need.
Yeah, I'm like, why all that stuff for a real ID? Okay, so
exactly. It
says...
And if my current ID has the star on it, why do you need current... Like, why do you need more verification? If you just saw my current ID that has the gold star on it, why can't you just take that identification?
Well, I think it's because for you to... It's at a state level, in order for you to qualify... You need to provide the state government with that kind of stuff.
Either way.
Just because your stuff from the DMV in South Carolina, I don't think everyone around the world has it. Like, I mean, everyone, like, federally has it, you know? They gotta, like, ask permission to tap into their thing. So that's why.
Either way, it shouldn't be this difficult. In me getting $75 tickets every month is not worth all this fucking stress, and I still don't have a residential parking pass.
Is there anything that you can do in the meantime? Like, is there anything that you can buy that can replace the ID? Not the ID, the pass. And instead of that, just like, I don't know, paper fucking day or a week or whatever.
So there are kind of like small loopholes. I can pay for like guest passes day by day.
Yeah.
But I think they're more expensive than anything that I'd be like able to afford.
Right. Right. Like, yeah, they're not cheap.
They're not cheap, and like that's why like the next time we move, I've got to focus on making sure the next place we have has parking with it, because I can't afford to have to figure out where to keep my car during the winter. Like we still got to figure that out. Is like I got to find somewhere to park my car during the winter when it's going to snow 5 feet.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I can't just leave it on the street. It's going to get plowed over, and then I'm never going to drive my car, and it's going to break, and then I'm going to have a piece of shit car.
That's a way to look at it.
No, I mean, that's literally the outlook of it. Like, if you think about it,
I just think you need to gather enough willpower and then go back to the DMV with all the documents that you need.
If I don't do enough for this car, and I leave it on the street like I'm doing, I'm going to have to pay a lot of money to keep it, like, on the street.
So what do you do?
And then second off, in the winter, they're going to plow the street.
Yeah, and they're going to cover the car.
And first off, my car's going to get ticketed for not moving for the plow.
Yeah.
And second off, it's going to get covered in snow. And since the battery will be so frozen, every time I want to try and start it, it'll probably break. And if I don't use it, if I don't do anything about it, it's not going to work anymore. And then it's going to be a piece of shit car because I broke everything about it because of the snow.
We can like start like the Flintstones, you know, run. We don't need the fucking engine. We can just run. We'll take the bottom down, run with the car. Yeah, no, I think that the winter stuff, I'm honestly scared of the fucking winter here that's gonna come. Not scared, like, I've lived in, like I've told you, I've lived in cold before, but I don't think like I've had to be so functional during the cold. And yes, we do have the option of staying indoors, but I really need to be outdoors, and there's a certain point where even being indoors is gonna get uncomfortable because of how cold it is outside. Like, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's November. It's not even November. It's not November. And it's already like, today we were in like the low 30s. And it fucking scares me.
So it scares me. But what scares me more is the fact that we cannot control our heat. So
right, no, but I feel like that's not going to be a problem. Like, I feel like we get enough heat.
I'm not worried about getting enough heat. I'm worried about getting too much heat.
But that's okay. We can open a window. Like, being colder, it's always easier.
I guess.
Warmer is always harder. If you're cold, like, dude, like, I'm talking like, we gotta like snuggle up, but like once you're out of the bed, like, you know how hard it is to get up in the morning, like if it's cold, right? Mm-hmm. So we gotta put like heaters and stuff like that. But if it's too hot, like if they put enough heat and we feel hot, you just open a fucking window a little bit and it's gonna like even out, you know?
That's fair, but I'd like to be able to control how much heat is going into
fucking
my
doubt.
Building. Or my room, I mean.
No fucking doubt, yeah. But
so,
entry level, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of
entry
old.
level. I'm working really hard. Let's drop like a donation button. You know, if you feel bad for us, like buy us a coffee. Like literally, like a coffee. How much is a coffee at Stan's Donuts? That's been our place
depends.
lately.
Is it a latte or a cappuccino?
Fucking cappuccino all the way, or whatever you want.
Cappuccino's like $3.
And yours?
Latte's like $5.
Okay, $5, because they're gonna buy you coffee, not me. Buy Marg a coffee if you think she. I'm kidding. Just I'm real. Like, there's gonna be a link. Just buy us a coffee if you like. You know,
sure.
You like what we do, and we'll get that coffee to you on the podcast. Like, we'll drink it.
Anyway,
but,
I'd like to be able to control my heat.
Right.
So our building's very old. We moved in virtually, basically. Like, we chose the place virtually and moved in with not much like knowledge of what we were getting into. Mm-hmm. Like, we're not upset in any sense at all, like, whatsoever. Like, we're super happy with what we got because and like literally we could be so much worse.
Right.
But this building that we're living in it used to be like, I don't know what it used to be. It used to be like a big manor or a big house with like multiple rooms, or like a big hospital or something. I don't know. It's something with multiple rooms, like a school.
It was a fucking house.
Either way,
that's it.
Don't
think about it.
There's heating that can, like, basically our landlord controls the heating, and they just kind of turn on the propane, and the heat runs whenever it gets too cold.
Yeah.
And so if it's too cold, it's just gonna heat. And like, whether you like it or not, if the heater thinks it's too cold outside.
Beautiful. Let it out.
If the heater thinks that it's too cold outside, it's gonna heat you up, whether you like it or not. Like, you can't stop it. Like, in the middle of the night, we'll hear
you do know it's not the heater, you know, that's just up and like deciding, oh, I feel like it's cold outside. I'm gonna warm up their asses.
It's a thermometer, bro.
It's fucking Julia. What's her name? Is the building manager.
It's a.
Yes, I'm sorry for disclosing. Fucking Pentagon papers are nothing compared to disclosing Julia, bro.
You don't know if any of our neighbors are listening. They could be. You don't know.
Okay, so if they're listening, look. Don't
give us our package back.
Bro, who's stealing our packages? Bro?
Oh, no, should I bump them?
Yeah, stop bumping this shit, bro. Who's stealing packages in the building? Who steals packages, bro?
So
tell me and I'll help you. I'm willing to give you like help. I don't know. I'll buy you food. Just don't steal the package, bro. What was in that package?
So Amazon was having like one of those deals of the day, right? Like, just one of those discounts that they do, and it was a bag of 250 pieces of Halloween candy that literally every piece was like one that we all love, and it was like originally $17 for 250 pieces, which like is whatever, and I got it for like 10,
No way.
Right?
Well,
So I ordered it, and whatever, it delivered yesterday, and we got so busy yesterday that we didn't, like, go pick it up. And then this morning we went to go pick it up, and it's gone. And I went to go find, like, a claim through Amazon, and they had delivered it, and it was... They sent me the picture. They showed where it was. Mm-hmm. And, like, the only logical explanation is that somebody took it after it was delivered. I mean, either somebody in our building took the package, or this morning, somebody was moving in, and they propped the door open. So either somebody threw the movers, or somebody popped in the building and, like, took a package and walked off. I don't know, because there's no security in our building. It's such an old building that there's no, like...
What would you do in this situation? Like, what would you do if it was just you living?
I don't know what to do. If I was here by myself, I'd probably just put a little sticky note downstairs where packages are normally put and said, like, hey, it's not cool to steal packages. Like, we're neighbors here. Like, honestly, like...
It's not cool to do drugs.
Stop.
Kids.
Like, I'm not trying to be like, cool or anything. Like, I'm just trying to say, like, hey, we are
Your
neighbors.
Your approach is the best, by the way, so don't worry about that.
Like, we are neighbors. Mm-hmm. If it's somebody in our building that's taking our packages, like, that's kind of, like, a really...
Big issue.
Well, it's not only a big issue, but it's a really, like, invasion of trust. Mm-hmm. Because, like, now... My packages get left downstairs by my delivery people because that's just how it's most efficiently done for my building. And now, every time I get a notification that it's delivered, I want to go get it immediately. And I have anxiety now that somebody's going to take it before I can go get it.
So you leave a sticky note?
I mean, if I were here by myself and you were not here, I'd probably leave a note and say, hey, like... Is anybody taking the packages?
The fuck's up, bro?
I don't know. Or maybe I would find who, I think, the lady that gets the most mail here, I don't want to say her name because she doesn't need to be disclosed.
Oh, you mean?
But, like, the lady that gets all the mail, like, you know, she has the biggest mailbox in our building.
Yeah.
I'd probably try to contact her and ask her what's going on. Because, if anything, she's got our packages. But, like, still...
See, your mind is very nice, because...
But still, we're all living in the same building. Like, either one of us hears your upstairs movements or your downstairs movements. Like, why would you break that trust of, like, leaving our packages out? Like, literally, we did not pick up a package over 24 hours. Like, we left it over one night, and it was gone. I shouldn't have to worry about that in my fucking home. I should be able to go get my package whenever the fuck I want to. Or I shouldn't have to worry about somebody taking my package. Fucking stupid.
Your approach to it is definitely, like, more pacifist. Like, you're mad, but you're just gonna leave a note, right? My brain... Well, not my brain. There's a little part of my brain...
what else am I supposed to do?
No, like, I honestly, I don't know either. Like, I don't know something actually productive. But you gotta let your anger out some way. So the little part of my brain that's like a lizard animal brain, as soon as I, like, realize that somebody stole our packages, and not somebody's packages, your package, you know, like, really animal thinking, I was already, like, thinking of threats, you know, like, how can I threat this person into, like, I want to make their life miserable. But just for a second, you know, I just, like, I'm going to leave them a note on that. I wanted to leave a note on the fucking wall every day, reminding them of how many days have passed since they stole my package. And reminding them that I'm going to break their fucking legs if I find out who they are.
You're so sinister.
And I would, no, like, I promise I would, like, who the fuck goes around, like, stealing packages, you know? So for, like, a solid 20 minutes, I was thinking about that, you know, and I've obviously gotten over it. Like, but for 20 minutes, I was like, oh my god, I spent 20 minutes giving energy to, like, this stupid thought.
I mean...
But, you know, like, it kind of let out some energy, some anger out of me, because I was like, wow,
worse,
dude, like, who the fuck would do that, you know?
What makes it worse is the fact that, one, I cannot file any claim with Amazon because they proved delivery successful. Which means they are no longer liable.
Amazon's not their problem.
Like, they gave me pictures and everything. Like,
imagine it was the Amazon dude. He took a picture of it, then took the package and checked out.
He could have, maybe. And two, I completely forgot my point two.
I'm so sorry. One is that the Amazon dude drops it off, and then so they're not liable anymore because once they dropped it off, that's it, and they took a picture of it. And the second is there's no camera, there's no way to tell who has the package. So this is important to know. Like we live the package situation downstairs is everyone's like public. So once you leave it there, there's no like real way of seeing it.
Oh no!
You see how I told you?
Told
you you'd get it back.
Two is the fact that I can't even order another one because Amazon is out of stock of said discounted Halloween candy. Like, I know it's not a big deal. Like, I'm not trying to make it a big deal whatsoever. Like, I'm upset.
Dude, the Halloween candy is a big fucking deal.
I'm upset to like 30 to 35% of me is upset over the Halloween candy.
Yeah.
Because it is just Halloween candy. But the fact that it was just taken from me because I didn't pick it up in time, like, I don't know, it's stupid. Like, if it is somebody in the building that we live in, like, fuck you, bro. Like, I'm sorry.
Mark 2020.
You're breaking the whole trust of the whole building. Like, you're supposed
shitty.
to be friends with
It's
the people
shitty.
in your apartment building. Like, that's just a thing. Your neighbors. You live in literally the same building. Like, you want to be friends with those people, don't you?
Yeah, it's
Well,
shitty.
why would you fucking steal from those people? If it is somebody that just walked into the building while the door was propped open, grabbed the package, walked off, whatever, I hope you enjoy the candy because you're an asshole anyway. And you're not going to see this, so that's fine.
Well, I just feel like if it was somebody who truly like stole because they need it out of necessity. I know there's a lot of people who steal out of pure necessity.
That's fine, but it's just fucking Halloween candy, bro.
Yeah, but like it was an Amazon package. You never know what you can find in Amazon packages. It's true you could find something that's valuable. So one, it could have been somebody from here that just stole it because that's how they make a living. And like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm sorry to be a victim of it, but it is what it is. Like, I'd rather people have what to eat and, give up on some Halloween candy. Like, I'm not gonna allow that to happen, but it's okay. Like, but like, if I know that somebody's really struggling, like, I'd rather be able to help them. Like, I'd rather be more open to like giving them even more money in value than the package.
Okay, but like if this
than
is
that,
if what I ordered is going towards somebody, that's a whole different story.
Imagine they're diabetic as well. They're like, fuck, I cannot even eat this candy.
Well, then that's their own fault for fucking stealing it.
Like, God damn it, the one thing I can't eat.
I'm sorry, but Amazon packages are not the thing to steal. It's like stealing a fucking gambling game. Like, not in the same sense, but it's like a game where you gamble. It's like...
Thank you for that explanation. It was just funny, Mark. I'm not making fun. It's just really funny. What's a gamble game? A game where you gamble?
I'm gonna kill you. Why would you steal packages if you have no fucking clue what's inside, bro?
Well,
it could be medication. It could be fucking diapers.
Yes.
So what do you do if you open a package with diapers? You can't sell diapers.
So that's probably not the only package that he steals. He probably steals a variety of it.
Either way, it's fucking stupid. I'm happy if what I bought goes towards somebody in need. But if I know that's what it's going towards. Yeah. I'm sorry, I ordered candy for the kids in our building. Because I know there are still some kids in our building. Yes, there are some kids in our building. I ordered candy for Halloween because it was on sale. And now I don't have candy or as much candy for Halloween. And I'm just like disappointed because it's just sad. Now... Yeah. My money went to waste because I have no product. How much was it? I don't remember.
Still, like whatever, it was a big loss,
I mean, it was a decent loss. It wasn't terrible.
No, but I mean like the fact that the candy, isn't the candy out of stock?
It's out of stock, yes. I can't buy it again. Yeah. I'd buy it again if I could. Because I actually wanted that candy. Yeah. But like, it's Halloween candy, like, whatever. Yeah. I mean... It is what it is.
Halloween is a good segue into introducing a little character that I would like to call Bob Dick. No, I'm just kidding. I'm bringing him out. You can introduce him.
Let me tell you a little story. So I went to Walgreens the other day to get... What did I go to get?
Definitely not this, because you go
No,
and...
I went
I'm like,
to...
hey, Mark, can you go and get me peanut
no,
butter? And
listen.
she comes back with a different, like, mushroom.
So-
She comes back with a pet toy. She comes with a dog. She comes home with, like, ketchup. I'm like, dude, I wanted the one thing. And all of them are for me, though. Like, what's even worse is that she makes me feel guilty because she doesn't... Maybe she buys herself one thing and then she's like, oh, and here's, like, 20 things for you. And I'm like, God damn it. I'm like,
So,
thank you.
shush.
Makes me feel guilty.
I went to Walgreens because
And
we
grateful.
needed...
Thank you.
We needed dish soap. We needed dish soap, trash bags, and a couple other things, like household things, like laundry detergent and dryer sheets. That's what it was. I was doing laundry that day, and I needed to do I needed dryer sheets.
Yeah.
Okay. And our Walgreens is kind of shitty. It's just like a express Walgreens kind of, where it has like the bare minimum everything that you
Yeah.
will like
pretty
kind
small.
of need on the dot. Like it has like Old El Paso seasoning and like Campbell's soup, but it doesn't have like frozen meals or anything. Like
Yeah.
it's got like your bare minimums, kind of like a gas station, but a little bit more with a pharmacy. So anyway,
Yeah.
it had this really tiny like Halloween section a few weeks ago, right? And I had picked out this little toy that looked really cute.
Shut up.
And it was like still September, and Vlad told me no because it was like a Halloween toy.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It was still
okay.
September,
I was like, okay, fair. I'll wait till October, like Halloween season, and then whatever. And then randomly, we were really behind on laundry, and I was like, okay, I can't do laundry. I need dryer sheets, so I'm gonna go to Walgreens real quick, get dryer sheets. Got dryer sheets. Remembered we needed trash bags. Got trash bags. Whatever. We needed all these things. And I was like, okay, I mean, I'm getting all these things. Let me just see if there's, like, any discounts in the Halloween section, because it's October now. And the same toy that I had picked out in September was still there in October. And he was a little squishy guy. He was a little squishy guy. Just a little Halloween.
He's so soft.
He was just a little squishy Halloween, super soft toy. Like, he's just a little stuffed animal, right? Stuffed toy.
Alright.
What? And so
He's not an animal.
Shut up. He's just a little squishy boy. Like, he's just a stuffed animal. He's a stuffed animal. He's a stuffed toy. Whatever. So I bought it because it was on sale because it was Halloween. And I brought it home because I was like, Vlad, he's been a vampire for Halloween for multiple years. He was born in Romania. He was born in Romania, so he obviously has that vampire background behind him. And once I gave it to him, I was giving it to him, and I was like, haha, it's a funny toy, whatever. And we opened up the little tag on him, and we'll show a picture of this, but it says Vlad, and the little toy's name is Vlad, and it says, Vlad is a homebody during the day, but at night he's the lead singer in a mellow metal band, the Skeleton Squad.
Whatever the fuck this is.
When he's not on tour or in practice, you can find him napping the day away. Want to know his guilty pleasure? Spaghetti and meatballs, but hold off on the garlic bread. And so, like, I bought him this toy with absolute no clue that his name was Vlad. Like,
That my name was Vlad.
no clue that this toy's name was Vlad at all. And so it's just a funny coincidence that I bought him a toy that fucking has his own name.
Anyways, I think that this little dude has gotten me throughout the last 2 weeks. Through the mornings. Like, I just feel him, he's sitting, like, I leave him on the couch, every morning, every night, and then the next morning I see him, and I'm like, it's a little reminder, one, like, of her, it reminds me, because she gave it to me, so I'm, like, really happy to see it. And two, I'm just like, hey, like, life's not that bad, look at this little dude, look at this little cute dude. So I don't know, where you can get them. I don't know, maybe you can get them at Walgreens, but you should definitely get your significant other.
They are actually called Squishables.
Squishable. They're definitely
No. Wait, sorry.
They're not but they're squishable.
Squishmallows. Squishmallows.
Mellows.
Like a marshmallow, but squishmallow.
Yeah.
It's a squishmallow.
Oh, that's why they said mellow skeleton. Mellow.
He's a squishmallow. Look at him.
All right.
I think we're done for the night.
No, wait. I wanted to bring up one more thing before we.
Okay.
Before we close up, but I don't remember.
You gotta
what
crop
exactly,
that out,
honestly.
though. Some of that out.
Sure.
Some of it.
Sure.
Some of it.
I don't remember what exactly I was going to ask you, but I feel like when you were oh, right, about Halloween. For some reason, out of all the holidays that I've ever lived, I think Halloween and Thanksgiving were so fucking different to me before I came to the United States. Like, for some reason, I attended an American international school that followed the American system in Spain, in Barcelona. So we kind of like did stuff for Halloween and for Thanksgiving because, you know, they had like American teachers and American system.
Yeah.
So for Halloween, we actually when we were in like middle school, we had like schools, like, you know, the Harry Potter schools. So we had like the houses, like the Harry Potter houses. And so we used to like basically do activities, and each house would definitely. Are you getting the hiccups? That's hilarious. That is hilarious. You do know we're gonna have to end up the whole fucking episode right here if you're getting the hiccups. There's no pressure. I'm not gonna get mad. Nobody's gonna, like, if you want to close
Keep
it.
speaking.
All right, okay, cool. So we had houses like Harry Potter, and we would basically go around and do these Halloween activities and earn points for our house. And it was like one of those days where you'd earn like the most points for your house, you know, like one of those big activities. It was so much fucking fun, and I loved competing in those things, and I was so fucking competitive, and I wanted to win, and my professors know this. And I don't know, it was just like that. And I grew up, and like in my school, even though we were in Spain, like we still kind of celebrated Halloween, but I never got a trick or treat.
I really wish I could provide you with a trick or treat.
And I don't think I can. Like, I think I'm too old. Like, I'm not just gonna work around. Because
like,
it's still like,
no
even
way.
if they're gonna give me candy, they're gonna be like, okay, like, what are you doing, dude? You're a fucking adult.
I really wish I could provide you with a trick or treat experience.
I tried going trick or treating. So I used to live in this little mountain town in Romania, and for Halloween, I was like, Mom, I'm gonna go trick or treat, and there's some retarded name for it in Romanian, and she was like, you're gonna do fucking what? And I was like, yeah, it's Halloween. She's like, Romanians don't celebrate this. Like, they're not gonna give you anything. And I was like, no, like, for sure they're gonna have some fucking candy. I'm gonna explain it to them. And she's like, go. And do you know those moments when your parents know that you're gonna get beat up by somebody else, but they just want to teach you like a story, like, they want to teach you like a lesson or something. So she was like, just go. And I went around like, no, first of all, I went around like at 9 p.m. dressed like a musketeer with my sister for Halloween. A fucking musketeer. Not a scary just a fucking musketeer. And we started ringing around the houses, and nobody would answer at first. And then I called my mom, because my nanny was with us. You know, we were pretty young. Like, we were 6, and we had like not a nanny, but somebody who like watched over us during the day, you know, when my parents were away. She happens to be there, and so we called our mom, and I was like, Mom, nobody's answering. I don't know where to go. And she's like, go to this person's house. My friend said that maybe she might know that because she's not Romanian or whatever, you know, she might have some candy. So I was like, fine, okay. Turned off the phone, and I turned to my sister. It was pretty dark already, and I was like, okay, you know what? We need to hit this one house before we're done for the night, trick-or-treating. My sister's already like let up. She's kind of like you now. She's like, fuck this. And I'm like, okay. Let's just go to this one last house, and I'm sure we're going to get candy, and we're going to go back home. Fuck it. It was getting cold. And we go there. We ring. We see a light turn on, and then it turns off. No answer. I was like, what? And then I ring again. And then somebody comes up from the balcony and says, like an old lady. She's like, what? And we're like, trick or treat. She's like, fucking what? And I'm like, we're like 2 little kids. What? She's like, the fuck do you want? And I'm like, we want do you want like trick or treat? And I was like not really sure on the trick part. Like I didn't really know what happened if they chose trick, but I just thought everybody went along with it and they would give you like candy. And I was like, it's Halloween. It's what? It's Halloween. Are you gonna give us candy? And she was like, kids, go home. It's very late. I'm trying to go to sleep. And I'm like, fuck me. And then she was like, go home. Do you think I have better things to do, in my life? Like a grumpy old lady, and a rich old lady. And I turned off the light, went back home. I was like, that was my only like trick-or-treating experience. So I never lived it. And where I was going with this is that Halloween has stuck with me the most just because it was fun. And I did a lot of stuff. And also, I wish I would have lived it. So it's meaningful in two ways, And I just feel like it was very interesting for me to live it at school because my teachers did try to make it like a very interesting thing. But I never really knew what Halloween celebrates. What does it celebrate?
It's supposed to be the Day of the Dead. But like
no, that's Dia de los Muertos. But is it really the Day of the Dead?
It's the day before.
Okay.
It's supposed to celebrate the day before. Kind of like... It's basically the Christianity version, I think.
Yeah.
Where basically, like, we celebrate Christmas the 24th.
Yeah.
Instead of the 25th. We celebrate the day before Christ was born.
Mm-hmm.
So we celebrate the day before of the dead.
Yeah.
So Halloween's kind of the 31st of like, I don't know. There's always been costumes. There's always been trick-or-treating. My mom always making me go ring doorbells. If there were other kids around at the time that we were going up to a house, I would just join the crowd and like
that sounds like so much fun.
Trick or treat, and like everybody was like down for it. They would just put candy in your bucket or bag or whatever you were carrying, and you'd go on to the next house. If there were lights off in the house, mom would say, no, not that house. They're asleep. Because if the lights were completely dark, if there were no decorations on, or if they had decorations but like they were off, then like obviously we'd be like, no, don't bother them. They're asleep.
That's so cute. You just walk around.
And like anybody who kept their decorations or lights
basically would be participating.
Even if you didn't have decorations, if you had like your porch light on,
right,
then that would mean like you're still accepting like trick-or-treaters.
Right.
If you weren't, then you'd turn it off, and then once the whole neighborhood went dark, then trick-or-treating would be over, and you'd just go to bed, and obviously your parents would have to go through your candy to make sure there's no razor blades.
Really?
You never went through that?
Bro, I never went trick-or-treating. What razor blades?
Bro, okay.
People leave razor blades?
No.
No so fucking wonder they steal packages.
So there was a whole, like, I don't know if it was a conspiracy, because I was also a kid when this happened, but, like, there was a whole scare of, like, when Halloween was coming around, there would either be drugged candy or, like, candy with razor blades in it to sabotage kids.
In America.
The razor blades was a little bit excessive, because I don't think I ever heard of any case of a kid eating a piece of candy and dying from a razor blade throat, whatever.
That's ingenious.
It is, but it doesn't happen.
So
I've never heard of it happening. Either way, your parents would always have to check your candy, before you could eat it. Like, you'd have to dump out your whole winning for the night, and then they'd have to go through it all, make sure there's nothing dangerous, make sure there's no, like, marijuana.
Claim a few taxes.
Joint. And then obviously they'd claim a few taxes in there. Like, things that you're not aware of as a kid. And they would just take whatever, and then
Did you ever get anything weird?
Not that I know of, no. Not that I know of, no. If anything, a couple, like, pencils maybe that were like sharp.
I thought you'd say cigarettes.
No. I lived
trick-or-treating in Romania would probably end up with a lot of cigarettes.
No, I lived in a pretty decent, like, okay neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't fancy, like, I promise. Like, I know what fancy is. Like,
oh, do you?
Our neighborhood in South Carolina is fancy.
It is. It's pretty proper.
Our neighborhood in Rockledge is not fancy. It's like, it's mediocre.
Sounds like fun, honestly.
It's
mediocre. I want to see that.
Either way, our trick-or-treating would end relatively soon because there weren't a lot of kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Where was it better? In South Carolina?
Yeah.
What age did you trick trick or treat up until like I'm
Like-
geeking about it. Like,
So I think I trick or treated. I think I stopped at when I got to middle school, like 13,
wow, that's still
maybe
good.
12. Like
Yeah,
middle school, so you start 6th grade
yeah.
at like 12ish,
Wait,
11.
did you go to school or did you go to school?
I'm putting quotes so that nobody can fact check me.
Oh, right, yeah.
But trick-or-treating kind of stopped like the first or second year that I moved to South Carolina. And I moved to South Carolina in 2010. I
Right.
was born in 97. So like I was like 13ish.
Yeah.
Like 12, 13 when I moved to South Carolina. And I trick-or-treated the first year of South Carolina, like first year that I was in South Carolina. I don't remember trick-or-treating the second year.
Really?
I think I did something else. Like I think I did some other teenager Halloween type,
like get together.
like I think I went
Small
to
party.
the fair, or I went to like a fright Halloween haunted
Yeah.
house, or I
The
went to a
haunted
party
houses,
or
yeah.
something. But after my first year, which was 7th grade,
Yeah.
after 7th grade, I don't remember any trick or treating.
Right.
Like it wasn't really socially acceptable after when you were 13. You were a teenager and you were one of the ones that were going to cause havoc and you were going to vandalize. Because Halloween was always like pranking and it was kind of like the dark April Fools
Right.
in a way.
Yeah. Like dark April pranks. Like
yeah,
April
so like
1st
you would
pranks.
TP like TP's
TPP.
toilet paper people's people's properties, I mean. Or you would, I don't know, do
TPP.
stupid shit that wasn't like super vandalization, but like not super.
Yeah, no, I
unaggressive.
get it. It basically got like not
But-
cool to like trick or treat.
But my
anymore.
trick or treating.
But I wish I could have at least done it up until I was 13. I never done it like.
Yeah, no, my trick or treating stopped at least 12,
Well,
and
they did.
it was. I was allowed to go trick or treating alone. I think no, I was never allowed to go trick or treating alone. Actually,
So
thinking
you
about
always
it,
had parents around.
I always had parents around because there was so much scare of like.
Yeah, it makes
Had it-
sense. I wouldn't leave kids alone.
In the time, there were a lot of like pedophilia
Yeah.
cases around, just in general. Yeah, at least in Florida.
Yeah.
In Florida, definitely. In South Carolina, there was less of a concern.
Right.
But in Florida, we were never allowed to go by ourselves just because I'm pretty sure there were some people in the area that lived that were like not allowed to be around kids.
Right.
But I can't confirm that. I don't want to like call that out for sure.
Right.
But
Would you agree with castration for people that rape kids?
yes.
I think that's the proper.
Honestly,
I think
like
that's-
it
I think
needs
that's
to
the
be
proper
done if we need to
penalty.
make it such...
Not the death sentence.
No, not death sentence, but like if we want to make it such a harsh policy, like it
And a
we
fair.
I mean, we are so
Fair.
we are so disgusted with it right now.
Yeah.
In general, anybody you could ask is so disgusted with the fact of pedophilia
Yeah.
that like yes, we should like degrade them.
Yeah.
In a
I
way.
do. Well, not
But-
degrade them. I think like it's not degrading. It's fair because it attacks the one thing that they. It's basically fair because it attacks what they use to hurt the other person.
Yeah.
They're taking away, hey, how did you hurt that person sexually? What did you hurt them with? So
Yeah.
they take that away. And I feel like that, one, prevents,
Yeah.
and two, acts as a punishment, which is
Yeah.
a fair fucking thing
I
to do.
agree. I mean, in a way, yeah, I agree because there
Or
should
you can disagree. Like,
no there is no child that should have to go through any of that, and
Never.
death penalty is not satisfactory enough
I think
just
it's too
because
easy.
just because most people are satisfied with death anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I feel
Better
like death
that-
penalty, like, don't get me wrong, I feel like death penalty is an easy way out. Because
It is.
life as a registered sex offender is fucking hell. And also, if you're gonna end up castrated,
Yeah.
that's even worse. And honestly, that's what your life should be like if you
Yeah.
rape kids, you know? But sorry for the dark thought, but I really had to get him. But yeah, basically, you have to go pee?
Yes.
You can go pee. I'll keep this going. There's no problem. I want to keep it for just for a bit longer. It's awesome. She's definitely doing this. Hey, Marg, are you peeing? I hope we got that. That's a confirmation on she's peeing. It's been a rough week. For those who don't know, I am a copywriter. I work in an advertising agency in Chicago. And it's not a bad job. I get to write for a living. And I get paid pretty well. Like, it allows me to have a life in the United States, like I would say. Like, other people maybe wouldn't call it a lot, but I'm very happy with what I make. And it's been a long week working for what I love doing. And now I'm doing something I love even more with the person I love the most. I made her giggle. That's points. If you make your girlfriend giggle like that, that's points, guys. Is that points? It is points.
Sure.
Mentioning that it's points is losing the points, but
if you're not arrogant,
of
arrogant while I'm gone.
I'm not arrogant. Well, I was just trying to say that it was a hard week because I'm a copywriter, and I'm
kidding.
not.
They know that.
No, I'm not arrogant. I'm trying to tell them, if you need a copywriter, hire me. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about actually is
they know that.
It's an exciting project, and I think we should start talking about Musamp. I feel like we should really try to take a deep breath in and possibly use the next kind of segment about Musamp. So lately what we've been doing is...
We're going to cut it because Mark's going to be here in a couple weeks. We'll talk about it when Mark's here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're not going to talk about what it is or what we're doing. We're just the brief. Not even what we're kind of doing. Maybe the industry only. So, but there's already an Instagram account for everything.
Yeah.
There's
but
a very
think if we're going to do a podcast...
Okay. I'm not going to mention specifics or the name.
Musamp,
that's what I'm saying. Musamp,
Cut
check it out on
between.
Instagram. No, it's fine. Check it out on Instagram, Musamp. There's going to be something coming out real soon. One of the people that we're going to have on. It's going to be really interesting. And nobody's probably listening by this time.
If anybody's a music producer that needs help, or anybody in the creative world that needs help, just stay tuned. Stick with us for a little bit. We'll help you out in upcoming.
Yeah.
In a short time.
It's big. I'm very excited, and I'm very excited to work with you.
It's a pretty good project.
And this is where it leads to me. Well, I can talk about what I wanted to talk about without talking about the specific topic, which has been working on projects that are taking us closer to what we want to do in life. For me, it's becoming this consultant on digital advertising on social media. I've been doing a lot of work for Moen, and I've been doing a lot of work for social media, and so I'm kind of getting accustomed to that, and I really am trying to see how the content on social media can expand to new levels. And so doing that for a project that is starting up, and doing it for our friends, and doing it in a group of people that are working towards the same goal, it's just nice. Doing it in an agency is really nice, but doing it for people that are your friends is just crazy. And so I'm happy that I'm getting that opportunity. What are you what is the one thing that's making you the most excited about it?
About the podcast or Musamp?
About Musamp, yeah.
Musamp, what's most excited is that I'm getting to know some new people.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna be able to succeed creatively with.
Yeah.
I'm also learning a lot about my schedule and what I want as a routine, as a industry creative, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know the words for it.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for learning how to work in a business, especially when there's no incentive. Not a single incentive.
Monetary incentive. Short-term monetary incentive. There is incentives.
But, when you're not really benefiting whatsoever, there's no incentive whatsoever.
Are you feeling like you're not benefiting off at all?
I am now.
Right.
But
that's what I'm saying, monetarily.
Monetary incentive is not the only incentive that there is.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying incentive in general.
Oh, okay.
I don't care about money that much. Like, it is what it is.
Right, but you do have like fun working for it, right?
Well, yeah, of course. But there's a certain like limit to where I'm like, okay, this is where my effort like stops.
Right, you create a lot of content, and I'm sure even Mark feels like that sometimes.
Yeah,
you know?
To where I need to focus more on trying to actually make a living.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yes, I am passionate on this project that has no monetary value right now.
Yeah.
But I do need time to focus on the monetary value projects, you know?
Right. And we've been like that. Like, I feel like we've been focusing, for me, I love focusing on friends' projects, knowing that at the beginning I won't get paid anything. Like, I'm also working with some other friends on some other stuff, and I'm always trying to surround myself with people that are very serious about developing their own businesses and their own products, because they're going to be the ones that are taking me towards the kind of life that I want. So I know that in these things I'm gonna end up like maybe not making money at first, but because I have a job I can afford to like invest hours. So I'm investing. Like, in this kind of jobs you invest. Instead of investing money, you invest your time. And I feel like I'm invested hours and hours, and you've invested hours on top of hours in this. So I feel like it's like long term, and not even thinking about the money, but looking at the potential, like how big that this project could get, you know? Like, it could help a lot of people, and not only that, it could have like a very positive impact on the music community.
Yeah.
So I think of that, you know?
For anybody out there who's looking for music
mentorship,
marketing mentorship, any type of like
carrying yourself around social media,
helping your new business, look up MUZEAMP.
Link in the description.
Mm-hmm. We will help you out. We are just getting started, so we will help you out with deals and giveaways, and we are giving away right now. So check us out.
Yeah, we're not gonna tell you more about it. If you want to learn more about it, check it out. It's pretty cool. If you want to know
more, please go look at our Instagram, and I promise you, it's worth it. I promise.
Basically the CEO and founder is gonna be talking to us right here
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Right from this fucking apartment. So can't wait to do it. I think now we can wrap it up. Now we can say goodnight. It's been a fucking awesome day. This is the first week when I record 2 episodes. Like, they're not gonna come out the same week, but only we know that, and now you know that. But it's been secrets. No, I can just tell you that I'm loving this, and I can tell everyone that I'm loving this, and I want to keep doing it. 1 week at a time, one person at a time. Thank you, Margaret, for joining me once more.
I have no drink, but here's to doing what we love instead of what makes money.
Oh, fuck. Yes, if anything, I'm paying money to do this. Have a good night. Thank you for joining on the 6th episode of whatever the fuck this is. To many, many more, have a good night.